Hello beautiful people, I'm Raish Phoenix, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys how to do the viral latte look. For this look, I feel like, at least from my interpretation, because I've seen a lot of interpretations for this look, I wanted to focus on like dewy, luminous, glowy skin, of course bringing those browns, those warm browns into the eye, and a very glossy lip. For the latte look, from what I've seen, is kind of having that inner glow type of look with, of course, those browns, and just really bringing the luminosity into the skin and to life. Also, let me know in the comments if there are any beauty trends that you guys see going on. Honestly, sometimes I'm like late to catching on to what people are doing, but then at the same time, I'm kind of just in my own bubble, I'm in my own world. Or if there's a specific color combination that you guys would like to see me try out, let me know. I feel like I usually dive into super vibrant and then I get into my neutrals. I know I kind of tend to stay away from reds. Maybe I should do something red because I get intimidated. Because I don't feel as drawn to red all the time, but maybe I'll do something with red. If you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching.
Let's get started with today's look. For skin prep, I use Youth to the People's Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream. For the eyes, I use the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original. I do not know why I'm holding it upside down. Y'all have seen this product. And I'm going to be moving on to the brows using the e.l.f. Brow Lift Gel. Using the spoolie end of my brush to pick up the product, I start off with combing my brows down. So this is mostly to just make sure that the product is evenly distributed into the brow hairs. And then after that, you'll see me to start to brush them up, and also using the spatula end of this brush or applicator to lay down my brows. With the latte look, I feel like brows definitely play a part. Like if you want to do it that way, for me I chose to do it that way, with just making sure that I have a defined brow. So I'm really focusing on keeping the hairs a little bit more fluffy in the beginning of my brow, and then really carving out and shaping the brow on the other portion of it. Moving on to my LA Girl matte bronzer, I'm going to be grabbing that bottom shade and placing that in the inner portion of my crease for my lid. I'm doing this because it's close to my complexion, this shade, and also to just help get rid of the white cast in that area, so you can see me pointing out the area where I'm focusing that product. Moving on to my LA Girl Sunkissed Glow palette, I'm going to be taking this middle brown shade called Explorer, and I'm going to be building that up on the outer portion of my crease, as well as bringing it down to the lash line, just closing off that outer portion of the lid. Next, I'm dipping into the shade Comet, and I'm going to be using this to add more depth to this look, so I'm focusing it within that first shade that we put there, and really helping with defining and adding more depth, building up those chocolatey shades. Next, I'm going to be grabbing the shade Hotwire, which is right here. This is the Melt Cosmetics Blueprint Stack, and I'm going to be focusing this on the center of my lid, just leaving a little bit of an opening on that inner portion for Melt Emily. So this is from Melt Cosmetics, and I am using the shade. It looks a little bit peachy in the pan, but actually goes on as this beautiful gold shimmery shade, and that is from their Lovesick stack. After that, I am going to be picking up the brush that I used to put in that depth of that brown shade, and I'm just using it to clean up the area where I put those shimmer shades down. Grabbing my Danessa Myricks Color Fix foil, this is in the shade Starship. Putting just a small spit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to be using my finger to apply it mostly in the center of the lid. It has this beautiful shimmer to it, like it's like one of those little subtle moments. I want to add a little bit of shimmer to the lid, so I decided to go in with that product. After that, I'm grabbing my Oma Beauty eyeliner. This is in the shade Kennet from their Salute to the Sun collection, and I'm using it to tightline my waterline, my upper waterline. With a makeup remover wipe, I'm just going to clean up the outer portion of my lid. For primer, I'm actually going to be trying something new. So I'm going to be using my Danessa Myricks Beauty Oil. This is a hydrating facial oil. This was the only thing I used for primer on my skin, and I am an oily girl, so I was scared. But I will say that when I look at my skin, like in the final look at the end, you can see that I have more of a glow, and I feel like it's one of those products where it just gives you that inner glow look. From e.l.f. I'm grabbing my Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Orange, and I'm going to be using this to color correct around my mouth. So I'm just going to put the product on, and I'm going to use a damp beauty blender to help diffuse and blend it out. I'm going to lightly set that with my translucent powder from KVD. Moving on to foundation, I'm grabbing the shade Walnut from LA Girl. This is in their tinted foundation. What I like to do now is I apply the product to the back of my hand, and I'll pick it up with a beauty blender that is damp with water and apply it onto the skin. This kind of helps me see more of how I'm building up the coverage on my face and making sure that I'm in more control of how much product I use with each application. Next, I'm grabbing my Oma Beauty Duo Stick. This is in the shade 3, and I'm going to apply this to all the areas that I would like to contour on my face. For concealer, I'm grabbing my NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer, and this is in the shade Tan. I will say that this concealer is medium to full coverage, I believe. All I know is that if you want it to be more full coverage, it is best to leave it on the skin for a while. I made the mistake of blending it out right away the very first time I used it, and girl, it disappeared. So this is definitely a concealer where you can build it up, or if you want to really get maximum coverage, you can just leave it on the skin. I leave it for 10 minutes, and then after that I will go in and blend it out. As you can see, I use the excess concealer to further help carve out underneath the cheekbones, and any excess foundation that's on the beauty blender I use to further blend out the areas between my contour and my concealer to just give it a more blurred effect. Grabbing my KVD translucent powder and my Oma Beauty setting powder in the shade Honey. I'm going to use a mixture of both of these to set all of the areas where I had applied concealer. Going in with a damp beauty blender to pick up the product and press it into the skin. To set everywhere else, I'm grabbing my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is in the shade Dark Deep. From Colored Rain, I'm grabbing their Naughty Spice Bronzer. I'm going to be using this around the perimeter of my face to further add depth and bronze up around the forehead and the cheekbones. Grabbing that LA Girl matte bronzer again in that shade at the bottom, I'm going to be using this specifically to contour and accentuate my nose. To lock everything in place, I'm going in with my Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. I'm going to go ahead and spray the product first, fan off a little bit, and then grab my beauty blender to press everything into the skin. For brows, I'm grabbing the Crayon Case Eyebrow Pomade. This is in the shade Dark Brown. One of the things I like about the e.l.f. brow gel is that once you have the product in your brows and it's set in place, applying brow gel for me, eyebrow pomade, is a lot easier because I don't have to keep shaping the brows. The brows already have the shape, and now it's just a matter of filling it in and defining. So as you guys saw, I add a couple like really looser eyebrow hairs in the front of the brow, and then everywhere else I'm focusing on really adding that shape and defining the brow. Next, I'm grabbing my Salute to the Sun eyeliner again in that same brown shade Kennet. I'm going to be focusing this just on the outer portions of my waterline. I did this because I wanted to still have like kind of a little bit of light, so to speak, in the middle of the waterline, but I wanted to add that depth to the inner and outer portion. In my LA Girl Sunkissed Glow palette, I'm picking up that shade Explorer again, and I'm going to be using this on the entire lower lash line. Grabbing my Oma Beauty Drama Bomb mascara, I will be applying this to both my upper and lower lashes. For falsies today, I'm going to be using Anastasia Beverly Hills. These are in the style Fashion. From Danessa Myricks, I'm grabbing the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flushed. And I'm going to be applying the shade Rosé and Brunch. As you can see, I'm using my finger to dip into the sample size that I have and to just blend it out onto the skin. From LA Girl, I'm going to be grabbing their highlighter. This is in Sunkissed Glow, and I will be applying that to all the areas on my face that I would like to highlight. For lip liner, I'm grabbing Simone from Oma Beauty. And for lipstick, once again from Oma Beauty, I'm going to be using the shade Feminist. And once again, set everything into place. I'm grabbing my Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. You know the drill: spraying, fanning, pressing everything into the skin. And here is the completed look.
That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye, guys.